The poem Dust of Snow was published in the Pulitzer Prize winning volume of poetry, New Hampshire, in 1923. This poem is written in two short stanzas with four lines in each. Poet uses a conventional A-B rhyme scheme and omits adjectives or adverbs in the poem. Always a larger significance. A little thing touches a larger thing. The poem Dust of Snow by Robert Frost is a simple and short poem of 8 lines only that gives us the message to have a positive outlook in life, especially when we are faced with problems. The poet explains how an act as petty as experiencing snow on one's body can brighten one's day up. I have already sent you the text of the poem. I'm sure many of you have read it. I'm sending it again to you. Read it again. The poet Robert Frost is upset and sitting under the hemlock tree. Hemlock tree, although is considered as a poisonous plant with the very pungent leaves. Suddenly a crow sitting on the tree shakes the tree and the fine particles from the tree falls on the poet. The soft and cold touch of snow changes the poet's mood from sad to happy. He starts feeling soothed and refreshed. In this way, a simple moment proves to be very significant and serves rest of the day of poet from being wasted and held in regret. The black crow is commonly known as the symbol of death and misfortune. Since the crow is not associated with goodness, it is ironic that in this poem it is doing a good deed by shaking the snow and by changing the mood of the poet that was quite gloomy and depressed. Robert Frost did not choose an oak, maple, or pine tree. No, instead, he chose a hemlock tree, which is considered as a poisonous plant, and he is a very opportunist who takes benefit of any opportunity that comes on his way. Although he was sitting quite upset under the hemlock tree, might be sad with the daily routine, and in his personal life he had faced a lot of misfortune and difficulties. Robert Frost sitting under the hemlock tree, and why he has used the hemlock tree in his poem, because he wanted to show his optimism that anything that has been made by nature is of ultimate value. Hence, the poet used the two strange things rarely found in the poetry, the hemlock tree and the crow. Anyway, the beautiful snow that adorns the poisonous hemlock tree's branch is shaken off by a scary crow. Robert Frost used the elements of fearsome crow and poisonous hemlock tree to do something good, shake the white pure snow off the branches. This good act lifts the suicidal person's spirit, causing him to change his mind about killing himself. The small act causes the man to have an enlightened insight. We have a poisonous hemlock tree covered in pure white snow and a man who is depressed, planning to waste his day and his life working under the tree. As at that precise moment, the black crow of death shakes the pure white good snow onto the man. All that goodness helps the man to change his mind about killing himself. Instead, he decides to live, forget the regret and sorrow to enable healing. The poem Dust of Snow by Robert Frost reiterate that the little things in life can make huge changes in our future. It also shows that if we can take the hard time in life in stride, eventually something will happen to change our situation into the happier times. The simple changes we do for others can make all difference. Just think about those random small acts of kindness that we do, how much they brighten a person's day and sometimes changes their future. I'm sure you remember the chapter Beggar from ninth class. The beggar Lashkov would have begged throughout his life if Sergei would not have come to his life. His small act of kindness eventually changed the life of that beggar and made him a respectable man, earning the money with all honor and respect for himself. Hence, sometimes the small act of kindness change someone's life and future. Noticing and appreciating all the small things in life will make our life happier. It will also cause us to have a spirit that is willing to change and therefore succeed. Let us come to the poem Dust of Snow by Robert Frost. The way a crow shook down on me, the dust of snow from a hemlock tree, has given my heart a change of mood and saved some part of a day I have rued. In this poem, the poet is talking about a winter's day when all the tree tops were covered with snowflakes. The poet was walking under one such snow-covered tree. This was a hemlock tree. The hemlock tree is usually associated with poison and toxicity, as poison named hemlock is also made. Thus, the tree cannot be associated with anything positive. However, a crow came and sat down on this tree suddenly, and because of this sudden motion, the mass of snowflakes from the top fell on poet like rain. The snowflakes were so light and small that the poet thought they looked like white and immaculate dust particle. The shower of snowflakes from the hemlock tree is eventually the subject matter of the poet, since it touched the poet in some way. Second stanza has given my heart a change of mood and saved some part of a day I had read. One thing is to notice here, in first stanza and second stanza, the poet has not used any word of punctuation. Hence, it is in a continuous sentence. So, now in the second stanza, the poet explains exactly in what way the showers of snowflakes had an effect on him. He says that it changed his mood. Earlier he had been in a despairing mood, but the shower of snowflakes falling on him all of a sudden gladdened his heart. In addition to this, there was another effect that the showers of snowflakes had on the poet. He says that the particular day was one that he had not been looking forward to, and in fact, it was not going too well either. He had decided in his mind that that particular day would go to waste. However, the shower of dust like snow on his shoulders changed his mind. It made him feel that the day had not been a complete waste. At least some part of the day had been pleasant since it had given him a new experience that he could treasure as well as the material for another one of his wonderful poetic composition.